Hello everybody and welcome to Horror Movie Breaker. Now today I don't want to review something old. I want to talk about a movie that just came out. I want to talk about the new Stephen King adaptation of It. Before I go on, I have never seen the original miniseries aside from reviews of it, and I've also never read the book. With that being said, as a standalone film, I think it manages to do what I feel like a lot of horror movies fail to do, and that is tell a story. See, one problem that I always have with a lot of horror movies is that usually they involve characters, going around creepy shit, and after a while you just stop and realize these characters have no development, no character, they have no personality. They have nothing. There's no arc. Like, their only arc is to get the fuck out of whatever mess they just got themselves in. And to me, that's just not a good story. That is not scary. Well, it might be scary, but it's just not interesting. And that's the thing that I will always say. I would rather a horror movie be interesting than actually scary. I would rather the story of a horror movie be good than scary, because I feel like a lot of filmmakers, a lot of writers forego the whole, story thing just to give us scares. I don't care how well filmed it is. If your story sucks, then your horror movie sucks by default. No argument. Like, you have no leg to stand on. And it manages to actually tell a good story. It manages to actually have me invested. So, I'm not going to pretend like the movie is a masterpiece or like it's perfect. No, it has its flaws. And you know what? I'm just going to talk about the flaws, get them out of the way, and, talk about the good stuff and on that note. So, for starters, I do feel like there are moments where the tone kind of conflicts. See, the movie has a very lighthearted tone when the kids are together and don't have to deal with the monster, but when the monster's around, obviously we got the very creepy horror vibe. The thing is that personally, while I like this contrast, there are occasional moments where, for example, we're dealing with this horrific situation, this character's like running away from the monster or something, and then we immediately cut to somebody telling a joke. Now, to be fair, this doesn't happen too often. This is actually a very minimal problem, so it's not a big deal, but when it does happen, it is very noticeable. What's also interesting is that it doesn't really happen the reverse, so, like, you'll never have, like, a jump scare in the middle of a joke or something like that. The horror in the film and the jump scares do have build-up, so they're not cheap jump scares that are, like, thrown at you for no reason. They do come from something, and there is build-up to them. But as far as the tone is concerned, I don't think the tone is ever jarring. It's just that these minor moments do kind of make you go, I don't know if you should have cut to that specific thing right at that moment, but whatever. The second problem I have with the movie is that there isn't a whole lot of development for certain characters. Like, for example, there is a comedy relief character, and by the way, I don't think it's going to be a spoiler for me to say this. This character doesn't have a whole lot of development going on. It's not like he's completely two-dimensional or bland. This character definitely has a lot of personality. The problem is we don't really explore his home life the way we explore certain characters in the film. And obviously because the Losers Club, which is what they refer to themselves as, is a big cast of characters, you can't always focus on everyone, and I understand that. But the movie did leave me wanting more. It did leave me wanting more character development, at least for these specific characters. The character development that we did get was very good. And this of course leads me to the good things about it, because really those were the only two problems I had with the movie. Everything else I enjoyed. I loved the look and feel of the movie. I loved the visuals. I loved the design of Pennywise, actually. That was one of the things that I thought I wasn't really sure about, because even though I've never seen the original miniseries, everyone knows about Tim Curry's Pennywise. He's almost iconic. Like, I don't even think it's almost. I think he is an iconic horror movie monster. And because of that, I wasn't really sure if this new design, when it was revealed, I wasn't sure if it was like, oh man, is this gonna work? But I was actually very blown away by Bill Skarsgård's performance. He did a very good job as Pennywise. He was very entertaining, and he was also very scary. Like, Tim Curry was over the top, and the scariness comes mostly from the fact that he looks like a regular clown. But when you really think about it, that's really it. He isn't really scary on his own, and the movie in itself, from what I've seen in reviews, isn't really scary overall. It's just that, a lot of kids saw it, and, well, you know how it is. In fact, that's what the movie's about. It's about childhood fears and traumas. And that's the thing that I really like about the movie, is that the movie actually has themes. It has a story that it's telling. And that's what I love. I love it when horror movies do that. I love it when horror movies actually tell a goddamn story. The theme that I got from the film was basically the idea of childhood traumas being something that, you need other people to help you overcome. And I really, really like that. It has a very heartwarming tone throughout. It's very basically The Goonies if it was a horror movie. It's basically Stranger Things if it went a little bit more above and beyond with the terror rather than keeping it more PG-13. I think that that's fantastic. I'm very happy with the subtlety of how they portray these kids' lives. Like, it doesn't go overboard in showing the very difficult things that these kids have to go through, whether it be bullying or a lot more personal stuff. I think the film handles it very well. And this leads me to one of the bigger problems that most people have with this movie. And that is that it doesn't feel like the tone meshes well, or that it has a very jarring tone. Now, as I mentioned before, the editing does sometimes do that, but in my opinion, it doesn't do it too much. See, the thing is that I feel like it works because of the theme, because of the message, because of what the movie explores. I feel like the contrasting tone works very well. One moment we're having fun, we're almost like in a John Hughes movie, and the next we're in a terrifying horrific situation. I think it works very well because it allows for more character growth. It allows for the characters to actually show a more fun side, and in my opinion, it got me to give a shit. Like, I actually cared. I wanted to see them stop it. That's what I want. I want to be able to give a shit about what the characters are going through. And it is definitely a movie that has very good and likable characters. It has a good story, and I do not feel like the tone is abrasive at all. I think that the very lighthearted moments actually help emphasize or help make the more horrific scenes much more horrifying. There were moments where I was genuinely horrified. I was not scared. I was like, oh my god, I hope these characters make it. Oh my god, I hope this doesn't happen to this character. Oh my god, I hope they stop this, or I hope they do this. I also think that because of Pennywise's design and the way that Stephen King wrote him, this is not a spoiler, but he is very silly. Like, there are moments where he is a very silly character, and I think he manages to balance it out. Like, it never feels too out of touch or too out of tone, because that's also part of the theme of the film. It's overcoming your fears, and when you see the silliness of Pennywise, unless you actually have a phobia of clowns, I don't think you're gonna find him too scary, but you are gonna find him menacing. You are gonna find him a threat, and I think that that's more important than actually trying to go out of your way and make him scary and shit. This is a lot like Tim Curry's Pennywise. This is a character with personality. This is a monster with an actual character. And I like the fact that I enjoyed the monster, both as a good antagonist and as a character, and I'm also happy that I got to enjoy these characters and I got to actually care about their struggle and see them grow and see their relationships develop. All in all, I think it is a fucking good movie. Is that a good rating? Yeah, a fucking good movie. It's a fucking good movie. I think the characters were very good. Oh, I almost forgot the performances. The performances were extremely good. I already know, insert name here, from Stranger Things. I know he's a good actor. I've seen him in Stranger Things, but the rest of the kids, I didn't know who the hell they were. They all did a phenomenal job, especially the girl who played Beverly. Holy shit, she was good. Like, she let out some legit emotion. And the main character, the guy Will, holy crap. We're seeing a lot of great child actors come out lately. It is a fucking good movie. I disagree with a lot of the criticisms about it. The tone, in my opinion, is fairly consistent. I think the contrast allows the more horrific moments to stand out even more. And I think they complement each other with that contrast. Like, sure, there are some cuts here and there that I feel like do feel more abrasive because of the way it's edited, but the overall film structure, I feel like, is complemented by this contrast. So, if you guys have seen it, why don't you leave a comment below? Tell me if you disagree or agree with my assessment. And anyways, this has been Horror Movie Breaker, and I'll see you guys next time.